A few weeks ago, I woke up feeling awful. Charlie had woken up about 20 times during the night, and by 8 AM, I'd already dealt with a sick cat, dangerous drivers, and a screaming toddler in my car. By the afternoon, I was mentally and physically drained. I barely had any patience with my toddler, and I felt like a complete failure as a parent. I know, super positive start to the video, right? If you have ADHD or you're a parent, this might sound familiar. That feeling you get when life just spirals out of control and you feel completely overwhelmed. But here's the thing, I discovered something that changed everything for me. Yeah, you probably guessed it, AI.
Oh boy, here we go again.
For the past 6 months, I've been using 3 different AI tools to basically run my entire ADHD driven life. And I'm not exaggerating, literally just 3 tools. I use them for focus, emotional regulation, decision making, and even parenting moments when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And by the end of this video, you'll know the 3 AI tools I use that have completely changed how I function as an ADHD parent and content creator. The first tool is called Brain FM, and it completely changed my concentration. I've tried ADHD music on YouTube, lo-fi beats, Spotify playlists, and even complete silence.
And then there's that big awkward silence, you know.
Brain FM is the only thing that actually works for my ADHD brain. And I'm not just saying that, there's actual science behind this.
Yes, science!
I only found out about Brain FM earlier this year when I was doing research on AI tools specifically designed for people with ADHD. And I'll be completely honest, at first I thought it was complete nonsense.
Don't be ridiculous.
I thought, why should I pay for ADHD specific music when I could just find some for free on YouTube? So I did that. I went on YouTube, I tried about 20 different ADHD focused playlists I found. They did not work for me. I will concentrate on something for maybe like 10 minutes and then end up watching the latest episode of One Punch Man. So I went back to Brain FM and I saw they were offering a 7-day free trial. So I thought, you know, I'd at least give it a go. I put on my noise cancelling headphones, clicked the focus button, started writing my next video script, and an hour later I was done with the script with no interruptions. It was actually insane, like genuinely. It felt like time just flew out the window and I actually got what I needed to done. It's hard to explain, but it felt like I was being protected by this audio bubble. I could actually stay focused on things for longer than 10 minutes and my concentration was, you know, focus.
I would like your undivided attention, please.
You couldn't handle my undivided attention.
So I done what any reasonable person would do. I immediately paid for the annual subscription and started using it every single day. I started using Brain FM during every single content creation session, whether I was coming up with video ideas, creating thumbnails, or writing scripts. I was literally using it while writing the script for this video that you're watching right now.
Wait, what?
The science behind this is actually really interesting. Brain FM uses something called amplitude modulation technology that specifically targets your prefrontal cortex. This is exactly the part of your brain that ADHD affects the most. There's a peer-reviewed study that shows 80% of people with ADHD improve sustained attention using Brain FM. And that's not some random marketing claim, that's based on actual research. So why does this work so well for ADHD brains? 3 reasons. First, there are no lyrics to distract your language processing centers. Second, the patterns are consistent, no sudden tempo changes that derail your focus. And third, it provides that optimal level of stimulation that ADHD brains constantly need without being overwhelmed. Before I started using Brain FM, I could focus on tasks for maybe half an hour at a time before I'd needed a break. Now I can stay hyper-focused on things for like 2 to 3 hours straight with maximum concentration and minimal distractions. I genuinely didn't think it would make such a big difference. Brain FM is a secret weapon that lets me stay in that hyper-focused state without burning out. So that's the first tool. Brain FM handles the focus problem, but focus is completely useless if your emotions are all over the place, which brings me to the second AI tool. If you know anything about AI tools, then you've probably heard of Claude. It has one of the best coding models in the world and its creative writing is just on another level. I recently turned it into my own personalized AI powered journal and honestly, it has completely changed everything for me. I know. Super dramatic. Here's the thing about people with ADHD. We carry a lot of shame. Shame about being late, shame about forgetting things, shame about snapping at people we love when we're just feeling overwhelmed. All of the traditional productivity advice talks about traditional journaling. I tried that for over a year, but it didn't really work for me. It requires executive functions that ADHD brains already struggle with. You sit there staring at a blank page, trying to organize your thoughts, remember what happened, and turn it all into coherent sentences. For people with ADHD, that's like asking someone to play Mario Kart while blindfolded.
No!
I actually have a journal section in Notion which I use for over a year. I would open up Notion every evening, type out everything that happened during the day, but it never actually gave me any insights. I was just typing into a void, hoping something useful would come from it. Then I discovered Claude's projects feature, which is an absolute game changer, by the way. If you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend it. I created a custom project in Claude called my personal progress partner. Pretty good name, I know. I gave it custom detailed instructions about ADHD, therapeutic journaling, and my specific patterns. I turned it into my personal non-judgmental AI-powered journal. Let me give you a real example. Last week, I had one of those days where everything went wrong. Charlie woke up 20 times, I barely slept, and by the afternoon, I was completely drained. When Charlie started having a meltdown at dinner, I snapped at him, and I immediately hated myself for it. I felt like a complete failure as a parent. That evening, I sat down and journaled about it with Claude, and here's what it reflected back to me. It told me irritability isn't a character flaw. That was your depleted nervous system doing its best with no reserve left. ADHD brains have less emotional buffer when systems fail. You didn't fail as a parent, you're human with limits who just needs to recover. No shame, no judgment, just pattern recognition. And that's exactly what I needed to hear. The science behind this is actually incredible. There's research showing that when you put feelings into words, like actually naming them, it literally calms down your amygdala, which is the emotional panic button in your brain. Studies showed that structured journaling can reduce ADHD symptoms by 25 to 40% when done consistently. So I use this every evening during my wind down routine. Around 8:30 p.m. after Charlie's hopefully fallen asleep and we finish dinner, I open up Claude on my phone and just start typing. I'll say something like, "It's been a busy Thursday, woke up at 5, done my meditation and morning stretches, and within 10 minutes, Claude has given me insights that genuinely make a difference to how I think about things." But why do I use Claude specifically over other AI tools like ChatGPT? 3 reasons. First, it's the most human-like AI tool I've ever used. The responses don't feel robotic, it picks up on emotional undertones, and it knows when to ask the right questions and when to just reflect back what I'm saying. Second, it has enterprise-grade privacy. Everything I journal about stays private, well, hopefully. Claude doesn't train on my conversations. When you're sharing personal stuff about parenting anxiety and why you keep losing at Mario Kart, that privacy matters. Third, and this is huge, Claude remembers context across conversations. It can hold information about my entire week, connect patterns across months of entries, and ask follow-up questions that actually help me understand how my ADHD brain works. You know how in Mario Kart you need different power-ups for different situations? Mushroom for speed, banana for defense, star for invincibility. Claude is basically my emotional power-up, which keeps me protected from shame spirals while I navigate the chaos of daily life. So Claude handles my emotional processing and pattern recognition. But what about an AI tool to just help me with everyday life? That's where Perplexity comes in. Now, I'll be completely honest with you here. I second guess everything. Should I do this? Should I do that? What if I'm wrong? What if there's a better option that I haven't considered? ADHD decision paralysis is real and it's exhausting. That's where Perplexity comes in. It's like having a research assistant who cuts through all the noise and gives me data-backed answers so my brain can finally make a decision and push forward with confidence. All right, let me take you back to October 6th. The day that saved me months of wasted effort. I was planning to spend the next 2 to 3 months creating an ADHD mastery course. I was really excited about it. I had the whole thing planned out, but something just felt kind of off. So I opened up Perplexity to do some deep research on the best path forwards for my YouTube channel. I just wanted confirmation that I was making the right choice essentially. So I gave it all the information it needed, and Perplexity went ahead and done some super comprehensive research based on everything it knows about me and my YouTube channel. It confirmed that I should just stop creating the course until I build a bigger audience and actually validate the idea first. That one data-driven answer saved me from what could have been months of wasted time. I would have spent all my time and energy creating something that nobody wanted, and it would have completely distracted me from consistently making YouTube videos, which I'm trying to do more. I can always come back to that later once I do have a bigger audience and I know that's something that people actually want. If you are interested in something like that, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll work on that in future. I use Perplexity for everyday assistance, not just content creation. In Perplexity, you can set up different spaces. It's kind of similar to custom GPTs and ChatGPT or like projects in Claude. I've actually set up different spaces across the 5 main areas of my life. Content creation to to help me create content, finance to help me build a better financial future, fitness to help me optimize my health and fitness, knowledge to help me learn new things and develop new skills, and social to help me become better at communicating. But here's a specific win that actually saved me real money. A few weeks ago, my car failed its MOT and the company I took it to tried to charge me £450 to fix one headlight and 2 tires. Instead of panicking, I just opened up Perplexity, asked it to do some research for me, and it found the garage, which is literally 10 minutes down my road, and they managed to fix the car for literally half the price. That saved me £230 just from using AI for 10 minutes. It's actually insane how helpful AI can be in real life situations like that. But what makes Perplexity perfect for ADHD brains is that it gives you synthesized answers instead of endless Google tabs. You know how you can start researching one thing and suddenly you've got 14 different tabs open and you've forgotten what you were actually looking for in the first place. Perplexity prevents that rabbit hole by giving you clear, data-driven answers from hundreds of different sources, and the deep research mode is just on another level compared to any other AI tool I've used. All right, so let's quickly recap everything, because if you have ADHD like me, then you've probably already forgotten half of this video. Don't worry, it happens to me all the time. First, Brain FM isn't just music, it's neuroscience. It uses amplitude modulation technology to target your prefrontal cortex, which is the exact part that ADHD affects the most. Second, Claude isn't just a chatbot, it's pattern recognition for your emotional life. When you put feelings into words, it literally calms your brain down. That's why journaling with AI works so much better for people with ADHD. Third, Perplexity helps you overcome analysis paralysis by giving you synthesized, data-backed answers instead of endless rabbit holes, and it might just help save you some money too. And fourth, if you're an anime or a Mario Kart fan, you should probably subscribe to the channel for more fun references in future videos.
Do it now.
Here's what these 3 tools actually help me with. Brain FM handles attention regulation, Claude manages emotional overwhelm, and Perplexity eliminates decision fatigue. Together, they tackle the 3 biggest ADHD challenges that drain your mental energy every single day. All right, look, the real insight here isn't about the tools themselves, it's about understanding that your ADHD brain works differently, and that's okay. Like, you don't need to force yourself into traditional productivity systems. You need tools that actually work with your brain instead of against it. I'll leave links to all 3 AI tools down in the description below. And if you want more practical AI and ADHD content like this, I actually have a free email newsletter that cuts through all the noise around AI. It shows you exactly how to use these tools in your everyday life as someone with ADHD or a busy parent. Links down in the description below if you're interested. And if you enjoyed this video, you might like to check out this one over here where I talk about another AI tool that helps me with my ADHD. I talk about AI quite a lot on this channel. See you in the next one, guys.